fresh, freshy, flex, fresh, fresh, freshy, flex, fresh, Helmets, left, Cardi B and Offset.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate,
Hey.
activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Activate. Let's
they
go.
say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot. Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Activate. Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi. Hi. Oh, well, I'm late. Whatever. Y'all should be used to it by now. Y'all should be used to it by now. I love you all. Welcome back to the Sean Debbie Way Show. Hello, everyone. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. Shout out to Tasha and Not K for the Cash App. You Cash App me. You was like, go live, Sean. So I'm just like, now I feel like I'm stealing. Like if I don't, a way to pressure me into going live. Thanks. So shout out to all of y'all. I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm here and I'm queer. So we're gonna have a conversation. I'm not gonna keep y'all for a long time just because I've had a really crazy day. Now I know I normally say that, but today was different. Okay. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. Please, please, please. So my son, I have 4 kids, for the people that don't know. And one is adopted. He's my oldest, and I love him just like, he's my, like, literally. That's my baby. I love him. Okay. I've been raising him since he's been months old. He is now 16. And I've been raising him ever since. He was an infant. So he's my baby, right? So today at his school, a student was stabbed, okay, with a knife, all right? And the school was on lockdown, so I was being like literally tortured for hours because I kind of knew what was going on, but I really didn't. So I ended up going to the school after my son texted me and let me know that their high school was put on a lockdown. I went to his school. Well, I was going to wait because during a lockdown, there's not much you can do. All you can do is wait. You can't enter the school. No one can leave the school, type of situation. So it's just, this waiting game. And it's horrendous. Like, I mean, it really, I wish that on no parent to have to sit there and wonder if, even though your kid is okay right now, like, will they be? Like, what does the future hold for your kid, So him texting me saying that, the door was barricaded. They were all huddled up in the corner. The blinds and everything was closed so that the room could be dark, so that you couldn't tell really who was where, who was who. Type of situation is very, very, very scary. Very scary. Like I was petrified, and I was trying to act like I wasn't, but I really was. Like I was like my mind was everywhere. So his school isn't too far from the studio where my studio is. So I ended up going there because on my way back to the studio, the police were like gunning past me. So I'm just like, oh no, I'm like, I'm going. So I followed the police and went to the school. So while I was sitting there in the parking lot, I literally followed the police, like literally. Um, and sitting in the parking lot, after a while, I was texting my son, like we were talking, and he was like, I hear sirens, and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, yeah, because I'm out here too. Like you tried it. It's just the police that you don't just hear the sound of the police coming to your aid. You also hear the sound of your father, because I'm very so much in the parking lot. So I was in the parking lot and I saw, which broke my heart, a little, well, not a little, a young Black teenage boy that was being arrested and brought to the back of the squad car. So long story short, to come to find out, there is a video that is surfaced and that is going around online. And mind you, this situation literally happened right outside of my son's classroom, like right outside of the class he was in. At that time, it happened right in the hallway. So just by being a bystander, he definitely could have been walking past being involved. So that's what makes it like 10 times more scarier. And that's the part I left out earlier when my listeners on Station Head, I didn't tell them that this happened like right outside of my son's classroom, because he heard screams and, and all of that, but he had no idea what was going on. So there was an altercation at the school. This 15-year-old boy, it was his first day of school, which makes this 10 times more sad. I mean, what parent thinks of sending their kid to school and thinking this is it? That goodbye was literally the last one. So it was his first day of school at the high school. And in the process, I don't know I don't know if it was him coming from another school and already had like prior issues with certain people, or if it was just them picking on the new kid. I have no idea. But he ended up, the 15-year-old boy, his first day of school, he ended up getting jumped by multiple males. And in the process of him getting jumped, he was stabbed. And on the way to the hospital, he ended up passing away. So a 15-year-old boy passed away today at my son's school. So it's been like a really hard day. Literally running through, I mean, their school is so big. So I'm like literally running through because they released the kids at different doors, stuff like it was a nightmare to see all of those police there, and all of that stuff. It was a hard day. It was a hard day. For 3 hours, it was a waiting game. Me pretty much just wondering like what, and then I was outside of the school, and it's winter here, like snows. So I'm outside of the school, literally running through the field and whatnot, because there's so many cars with so many parents being there. It's like, I'm like, I can't wait, like I can't, because I'm not going to feel relieved until I see my son, so until I see him, I got to see him, So I parked my car and walked on foot. I did. I'm not even gonna lie. I went through a barricade I wasn't supposed to. An officer tried to stop me. I did not listen. I'm not going to lie. I was being very defiant. I did not listen. I just needed to get to my son. I'm like, I just have to see him. So, but the officer definitely understood. So, I mean, we were good. But I let him. I'm like, no, I gotta find him. I'm like, and I don't know if it was like the parent in him, or what it was, but he let me go. He's just like, go ahead. And he let me go through because I was trying to hear it. Like until I see my son, it's a problem. So took me a while to find him. Finally did, and I had to get my other kids too. But I wasn't leaving without him. So I was like 35 minutes late picking up my other son. But I mean, I have to do what I have to do. I'm like, I'm not leaving here without him. I know my other son is safe. There's nothing going on at his school. He's fine. And I'm sure the school knows that I have a high schooler here. So yeah, I wasn't leaving without him. So I felt really bad for my other son because he's so used to me being on time. But I'm just like, no, I'm not leaving. So the young boy, the 15-year-old, ended up passing away. Very sad. Horrible. Horrible. He didn't make it. Very unfortunate. Yeah, so it's just, my son, he didn't know him. Again, it was his first day of school, the boy that passed away. It was his first day of school. So no one really knew him unless they knew him from, I don't know if he is new to the area or if he's just new to the school because there's multiple high schools here. So I didn't know that. So my son made it seem as if he wasn't affected, but he definitely was because he ended up like crying. And because I just pulled over after I went and got my other son, we stopped and we just pulled over in the parking lot. We just talked. Like I told him, like, it's okay. If you're affected, by it, they have to walk past the crime scene. They had like whiteboards up and stuff so that they couldn't see, the blood and whatnot. But he was very affected. He tried to make it seem like he wasn't. You know how boys are. They just try to roll everything up. And I'm just like, no, this is big. This isn't, something small. That doesn't matter. If you didn't know him, he could have been you. So, that it can affect you because you could think that way, like, that could have been me. And it could have, but it wasn't. And I thank God for that. But again, very hard day. Very hard day. He's doing a lot better now. He's with his mom. They're hanging out. So yeah, it's been a really, really, really hard day. Watching those students come out of the school, they all pretty much knew what was going on. There's a viral video going around about the incident. I'm hoping they're supposed to be pulling it down because this is a minor. So I hope like the big blogs don't get it, and stuff like that because this is a kid. Like he was 15 years old. This isn't, a joke to me. It's not a game. Just a teenage boy. He's gone. 15 years old, life gone. And then to see that 15-year-old boy, because I believe the boy was 15. I'm not completely sure. The person who did it. To see him get arrested when he was coming out. It's hard to describe the look in his face because I don't know. I just felt really bad. I'm just like, 2 lives just gone. 2 black boys, just 2 black men, just futures over. So very sad, very sad. So yeah, that was my day. So we've been dealing with that all day, literally. All day we have been dealing with that. Very sad. I was very emotional outside of the high school. Again, seeing all of those high school students, seeing the parents grab their kids, grab them by the hand and like drag them, all of us were petrified. I mean, we were petrified. Standing outside. Valerie says, I just Googled it. All the info is there. 15-year-old and 16-year-old. 16. Okay, he was 16. Yeah, very young. I felt so bad. I'm just like, and I had no idea at that point in time, seeing him get arrested, what he was getting arrested for. I just thought he got into a fight, honestly. Because it happens. So I just thought he got into a physical altercation and he was being arrested because of that. But no, it was the unthinkable. The unfortunate 15-year-old did not make it. So that's what made it just so much more heart-wrenching. It's just like, oh no, like that poor family. How do you call them and be like, hey, it was your kid's first day of school today, and But it's like, how do you even call the family and tell them that? And again, it's not the school's fault. I don't feel that we should blame the school. Just because procedure, and what they have set up is what they have set up. No one thinks this. No one thinks that sending your kid to school that they're leaving with weapons or that someone may be at school with a weapon. Because how we're looking at it as parents, because I already have a meeting on Monday because they don't have school Monday. I'm already in a meeting to see, I need to know what's going to be done. And I'm not going to blame the school, but I do need the school to act. And if the school is not going to act, I have an appointment on Monday for another high school for my son. Now, I feel like violence happens everywhere. Things can happen anywhere, in any time. I mean, you just kind of never know. But if you're not going to do something, rather, because they have security at the school, but clearly that's not enough. So if we're not going to metal detect the situation, or something like that, I don't know. Just these kids coming into these schools like that, I'm just not trusting it. We've had a school shooting in our state before. That's happened. One of the first school shootings was here. So, something has to be done. I need to feel comfortable knowing that my son and those rest of those students, not just my son, the rest of those students are going to be okay. What are we going to do here? Like what's next? Just sending them back to school and trying to make it seem as if nothing happened is not enough for me. It absolutely isn't. There's other schools that have different protocols and different measurements for when their students are coming, and I don't mind sending my son there. I don't mind doing that at all. But to just send him back there, no. I'm not, I don't feel comfortable. It literally happened right outside of his classroom. Okay. My son is new to the school. That was a new kid today. He was new. It was his first day. My son's been there about 2 weeks. So yeah, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. My son is 16, so it's just, I don't feel comfortable. Just go right on back like nothing happened. Something did happen. And it should not have. This is a 15-year-old boy that's gone. And it's not your fault. But if this happens again, whose fault is it? If people want to retaliate or whatever, how do we know that there's not going to be any retaliation or, anything like that? We don't know exactly what happened. We don't. We have an idea. But these are kids. So you're only going to get partial truth. You're not going to get, the whole thing. You're only going to get what they're willing to tell you. And it's not going to be much. So what are we going to do? Because just sending them back to school is not enough for me. It's not. Again, I will homeschool him before I just send him back there. And it happened right outside. The screams and stuff he heard, he thought it was a fight. So to know that that person lost their life, he was hearing the screams of somebody dying, is completely different. It's very traumatic. He's a kid. It happened right. Those screams he's going to hear that all night. It's not just going to go away. Like it's not. So we need to do something. And I'm willing to help. I'm willing to assist in any way that I can assist, but just sending my son there, I don't trust it. I don't. And that's the conversation that I had with his principal today, and he completely understood. And the meeting that they have, he wants me to come, and I will be there. And if I don't hear what needs to be heard, he won't be back. It is that simple. He won't be back. So, again, I'm going to protect mine at all costs. Shout out to Shreen. She says, oh my God, prayers to you and your son. Thank you. He's doing much better. He is. Earlier was a lot. And I think that he didn't realize, because like when you are going through something and you're alone when you're going through it, and then you see like a parent or something, like the sigh of relief, that you have seeing your parent. So I feel like that was more so where his emotion was coming from, because something traumatic just happened, and, he just wanted his parents, just wanted his mom and his dad. So shout out to Polly. She says, love you, Sean. I love you too. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Shout out to April for the super sticker. She says, good evening, Sean. I need a shout out for my team, Eagles Fly. So, shout out to the Eagles, girl. I love you. Just glad your son and family are all good. Yeah, we're good. We're absolutely good. But my son, yeah, he definitely broke down earlier because, like I said, I'm like, it's okay to talk about it. You don't have to bottle this up. Like, what's up? Like, how are you feeling about this? This was big. This just wasn't small. So yeah, I think he's doing a lot better. He definitely is. It's gonna take some time. But I'm not gonna force him to go where he's not comfortable. If he keeps hearing those screams and whatnot, or it's gonna be hard for him to go back to that class or walk past that hallway, I'm not going to force him to go through that. I'm not going to do that to him. If he needs a little time before going back to school, I'm definitely going to give it to him. I'm not going to push him to just go right back there. I'm not going to. They did give them off Monday, but if that's not enough for him, if we're going to decide that he's going to go back there, then yeah, he's going to take as much time as he needs. I mean, that's my son. You know, I could pick up his homework every day. That's completely fine. But if he don't feel comfortable being there, he's not going to be there. It's that simple. I'm not tormenting my son. I'm not doing any of that. You know, school is necessary. So he's going to go to school no matter what. But it doesn't have to be there. And it's a good school. You know, that's the sad part about it, because they don't have instances like this, you know, or anything. It's like one of the first times that, I mean, things have happened before. Again, it's school, you know, it's kids, you know, they're going to fight, they're going to do all type of stuff. That's normal. But what happened today is not normal. And I'm not going to normalize it. I'm not going to make them think that, oh, it's okay, because no, it's not okay. It's not okay. It isn't. It's not okay. What those kids witnessed today, it's not okay. It's not okay. What they heard today, it's not okay. The video that's going around, it's not okay. None of that is okay. So yeah, something definitely needs to be done about it. Those poor kids, like I said, I was very emotional outside watching those kids come outside, because, you know, normally kids are really talkative, you know, as they're exiting school, you know, and stuff like that. No, it was like a bunch of kids running to their parent. And I felt even worse for the kids whose parents couldn't come and get them, you know, ones that may have had to walk, you know, or catch the bus, you know, or something like that. Like, I felt really bad. I just wanted to offer them all rides home, because they release the kids by how they leave. If you walk, then, you know, if you drive, if you get picked up, you know, that's how they release them from the lockdown today. So yeah, it was just really sad watching the kid. Anyone that was talking about what happened, or they were talking to like their family on the phone, you know, and stuff like that, or they just weren't saying anything at all. You know, they're just trying to get home. You know, just like, wow, it's like, this is so sad. Yeah, and before I left on Station Head, I had no idea that he passed. I didn't know that he passed away until I got to the school. I mean, back to the school, because when I had went before, he was still alive. He passed away on the way to the hospital. So I had no idea, because they didn't say there was any fatalities or casualties or anything like that. They just said that that someone was injured. They did state that much, but that was it. So yeah, it's been a really heavy day. I mean, it really has. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning, getting kids up off to school. Then once they got off to school, I went and worked out, tried to get some editing and stuff done. And then right after that, right after coming from the gym, boom, my son texted me, like, we're on lockdown. I'm just like, what? You know, so yeah, it's been a rough day, a very rough day. He says, Sean, are you okay? No. I'm very saddened by what happened. Very saddened by it. Yeah. Very saddened by it. Very, very. I was very emotional outside. I'm like low-key getting emotional right now. But yeah, I'm not okay. I'm not, because again, this is 2 Black lives. You know, a little boy is gone, and now a 16-year-old life is over, you know, over something so stupid. It's just, it doesn't even make any sense, literally. Like, you can't make sense of it. I can't imagine what that family's going through. I can't. And the scary part about it is that any of us could be. So yeah, I mean, no, I'm not okay. I would be lying to say that I'm okay, because I'm not. No, I'm not okay. Yeah, my son was right there. You know, that whole classroom, you know, though any of those kids, you know, could have been affected, you know, could have been hurt, you know, in the crossfire of something just so stupid, senseless. That boy didn't deserve that. He deserved to have went home to his family today. Not being 15 years old, 15, life gone. So many things he will never do. So many things his family will never see. It's like, no, we got to stop desensitizing ourselves to these things. We need to let it affect us. We need to let it hurt. We need to, because this is why the stories are moved on from so fast, to why more things aren't being done, because we are desensitized. It's just like, whatever. It's just like, oh, well, it happened. Move right along. Like, no, it's not moving right along. Like, no, the family doesn't get to just move right along. They don't get to do that. So why do we? You know, it's not a what happened to him problem. It's a problem in every community, you know, in lots of communities, to where we are just so desensitized by hearing people get hurt, to where it's hard to care as much as we would if it happened to somebody we know. No, it needs to affect us just as much, because it could be us. You know, just because it's not you doesn't mean it can't be or won't be. You know, and how would you want people to treat this if this was your family? You know, so I mean, that's how I look at it. I would be hurt. You know, I would be devastated. You know, so it's kind of like I'm still feeling those things. You know, like hurt and devastated. You know, like it was my kid, because it could have been. So it's like, that's how we need to approach this. You know, instead of just like, oh well, my son's fine. He's home. That's sad that happened to him. But no. Stop desensitizing yourselves to this stuff. Like it, we need to take it seriously. We need to pay attention to it. We need to let it hurt us. We need to let it affect us, because then we'll want something done. When you desensitize, then you move on, you know, instead of doing something. No, let's do something. So yeah, so shout out to all of you. I love you all. It's very close to home. I love you all. I'm not going to take the day off. The show definitely has to go on. Like, I mean, it definitely does. This happened in Minnesota, today in Minnesota. So if you look up in Minnesota, high school. So yeah, it's been a hard day. It definitely has. But we took some time. We all went and got some you know, refreshments and stuff, and we came back. We made dinner. You know, we all hung out as a family. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna talk to my son again when he comes home. You know, just hang out with him. You know, just check on his mood. Maybe to go take a night drive. Here is very beautiful, downtown. So maybe, you know, go take a ride. Just, you know, hang out. You know, maybe go do something with him tomorrow. Yeah, just kind of keep his mind off of it. I'm thinking about taking him to his old city where he just moved from, to hang out with his friends from there, because I know he's been missing them. He hasn't had as much time to spend with them because he's about to start working and whatnot. So in school, so he hasn't had too much of a chance to go see them. So I may go do that tomorrow, get him out of here. So yeah, I'll just go hang out with him, you know. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm just, you know, what do you do? You know, yeah. So I'm thinking about doing a video on it in the future. I just want to be respectful to the family. I don't want to treat their 15-year-old as like clout and like content, because he's not. You know, I'm very sad what happened. So yeah, I'm definitely, if there's anything I could do for the family, I want to help. If there's, you know, they need help with funeral expenses, you know, or anything like that. If they have a fund or anything like that, I'll definitely be supporting it. I'll put it out there for you. If you want to support it, I don't know if they need any help. They may be just fine. But if they are not, if there's anything that I can do, I definitely want to do it. I will keep close to the story, and yeah, we will go from there. Very sad, very sad. So, the title of the show is Cardi B and Offset Heated Argument in Beverly Hills. Did Takeoff sleep with Saweetie? And receipts inside. So, thank you all for the well wishes and all of that stuff. It's a lot, but we will revisit this. We definitely will. I'm gonna have to keep dealing with it, so that's why I want to come here with you guys and, you know, just kind of take my mind off of it for a little bit. You know, while my son's gone, take this time to think of something else, because it's very depressing and could just alter your whole mood. You know, so yeah. So I would like to talk about Cardi. So thank you all for your well wishes and all the good stuff. I'm sure my son definitely appreciates it. I'm sure the family of that young man definitely appreciates it as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, it's been a hard day. So let's get into this. So shout out to Daily Mail. If you don't know, now you know that Cardi B and Offset look tense as they walk around Beverly Hills in casual hoodies after she broke up that fight at the Grammys. Okay, let's get into this. So, Cardi B and Offset were spotted on a walk in Beverly Hills, California on Thursday morning. The rappers cut casual figures in comfortable attire while out after the recent video of Cardi 30 breaking up a fight between Migos rapper Offset 31 and Quavo 31 came out from backstage at the Grammy Awards. The I Like It rapper was seen looking upset with her partner as she stopped to talk at him while she looked down at his phone. While he looked down, Offset looked down at his phone. She donned a white t-shirt underneath the black zip-up hoodie and a pair of camo sweatpants. The beauty also wore a pair of split-toed white-heeled boots and wore her hair back in a low pony. Why does all of this matter? She also had a red mark on her face. So this is Cardi outside hooping and hollering at her man. Okay. Now, we don't know exactly what they were arguing about. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. It's over 1,600 y'all in the building. Please let's let the likes match what we are viewing. Okay? Love you guys. So Cardi and her husband, Offset, are in Beverly Hills, and it seems as if they are having a disagreement. Now, this is not a big deal, like obviously to somebody like me, because they're married. When you're married, you argue. Okay? It's in your relationship, you argue. You argue with your friends, you argue with your brother, you argue with your sister, you argue with your mom, you argue with your dad. Arguing is normal. It definitely is. So, but when they start to spew into the public, is I feel when people start to be like, before this situation here, we all know about the whole Jay Prince and coming for Offset and all that good stuff. Like, we already know all that. I do believe that this argument may have been related to something of Jay Prince. And I'm not going to say like they're like literally outside arguing over Jay Prince now. I think that it's more of a small matter, because if it was like cheating or anything like that, I just don't see Cardi B outside hooping and hollering talking about somebody cheating on me. That's something that would be more private. I think that this is something else. Shout out to Angela, sending love and prayers to you and your family. Thank you so much, sweetie, for the super sticker. Thank you. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. So child, they're making everything a headline now. Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I just feel like, people argue. Like, to me, what's the big deal? Okay, they argued. Cool. They're married. I feel like it would be more weird if they weren't, Shout out to Miss Travina for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you so much. Is there audio? No, there is no audio. Shout out to Jackie. Good question. There is not, because you already know I would have played it. There were just pictures being snapped, but Offset looking down at his phone, I just feel like he didn't want to argue publicly. Cardi gives, I don't care. But Offset just like, not out here like you're trying it. So yeah, I just feel like, couples argue, like, who cares? What's the big deal? And there's no audio. So just to show her outside mad. Okay. I'm like, are they coming to a point? Because where's the audio? Y'all got audio? Oh, okay. This is pointless. Absolutely. I feel like you took this moment to try to make it something bigger than what it actually is. Couples argue. There's pictures of Jay-Z and Beyonce, and she was in, I forgot what restaurant that was in California, but she was giving it to Jay-Z. she was giving it to Jay-Z. Like, what it was about, we don't know. But because there's no audio, but there was pictures, and you could tell that Beyonce is clearly upset. Like, there's no way of shaking that. Beyonce, even herself, couldn't lie and said that she was not mad. Within that moment, she definitely was. You could tell by her facial expression, her manner, like how she was pointing, you know what, like she was definitely mad. She absolutely was. So, but who cares? Like couples argue, no big deal. So I've been seeing this traveling around, so I went to look into it. There's nothing here. Again, I think that it may be related to certain things that are happening right now, but I don't feel like it's anything to call home to, but whatever. So let's move into the next topic, which would be about Saweetie and Takeoff. So we're gonna drift into that, but before we do, you know me, I like to give you a backstory. So with me giving you the backstory, last time we were live, we discussed. Make sure y'all hitting the like, please, 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 please hit the like. Last time we were here, we discussed, and I'm going to keep saying this because it is absolutely true. Cardi B and Takeoff and Quavo did not get along. Shout out to Genevieve for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sweetie. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much. Cardi just be talking. She could have just been, talking aggressively. They may not have been arguing at all. She may have been cussing somebody else out, but just telling her husband about it, which would make sense why Offset just looking down at his phone. It doesn't mean that she was cussing him out. I'm just like that. Y'all reaching, but whatever. Because you know me, I'm not one to just make up stuff. I'm not about to just make up stuff. Oh, they was outside arguing because I have no idea. I do read lips, but they have to be moving. Taking a picture of it. I have no idea. So they could have been anything. They could have been arguing about if they should take the baby pacifier away. And Offset said yes, and she said no. And then she outside telling him why she feel that the baby should still have his pacifier. Okay. So hair flip. So with that being said, we don't know what that word. We absolutely don't. But I have stated in multiple videos that Cardi B and the other members in the Migos do not get along, and they don't. Now, before Takeoff passed away, Cardi did not have a relationship with Takeoff. Okay. She also, even still to this day, does not have a relationship with Quavo either. Cardi does not like them, and I don't feel that she is blatant disrespectfully, but she doesn't like them, and they do not like her. They do not. Now, I'm going to get into why they do not like each other, and why I believe that it's very possible that Saweetie slept with Takeoff. And I know y'all probably like, okay, well, Sean, wouldn't that mean that Quavo and Takeoff would have been beefing instead of, because it's this alleged rumor out there that the thing that Offset did to betray the group was that he slept with Saweetie. Okay, and the song Messy on the album that Quavo and Takeoff did together before he passed away, in the song Messy, he states things about Saweetie. He addresses the elevator incident, and also states that Saweetie was for the crew. She wanted to smash the gang because she did. It's what he said. So I'm here flip. So we're going to get into that. Let's do it. So why Migos members Quavo, Lord Quavo, I just fuse these people name together. Members Quavo and Takeoff were feuding before Takeoff's death. Sorry. Now I've stated that this was allegedly about a girl. Okay. There was other rumors out there because we're going to get into this article, but there's other rumors out there. Let's get into these other rumors because we're going to come right back to this article. There's other rumors out there that this was all over a woman. So rap group Travis Porter says Migos broke up over a woman. Okay. So, and not just them, the whole world was saying it because of the song Messy that Quavo and Takeoff did together. And he allegedly exposed Saweetie, Quavo, in the song Messy about her sleeping with people in his entourage, his gang, his people, family type of situation, right? So rap group Travis Porter says the Migos broke up over a woman. During a recent interview, the group was asked how they felt about the Bad and Bougie supergroup breaking up. The group responds, it was over a B word. Fans chimed in the comments. One fan commented, man, y'all mind y'all business, bro, for real. They just being messy because they was the Migos before the Migos, but ain't get the fame they deserved. Another, or maybe, just maybe, there was shady business being done behind the scenes, and he was smart enough to get out of it. Okay. I'm going to go with the second one. But yeah, so let's get into this. This was on the Neighborhood Talk. And we're going to listen to this clip real quick.
The Migos, like, they broke up, man. What y'all think about that Migos shit? It was over a bitch.
Wait, what you say?
It was over a bitch. What?
It was over a bitch.
Always over.
You know,
oh my god.
What girl was it over? Cardi?
I don't know.
it's always over a bitch. Niggas get killed by the bitch. Niggas break up by pussy.
Okay, so that was them being messy. People were very upset that they were going around saying that. So let's get into the rest of the article. So it says here, now, none of the members have given a real reason for the split, but Quavo and Takeoff, remember, now, none of the members have given a real reason for the split, okay? So can't nobody come in here in my chat telling me why they broke up. You don't know. You don't know unless you do your research. You don't know. And if you're going to do your research, provide the receipts. So this is not about a woman. Again, not in that regard. Because if it was about a woman in that regard, why would Takeoff have a problem with Offset as well? I really don't feel like Saweetie is important enough that if Offset slept with her, that Quavo and Takeoff would feel some type of way about Offset. No, I can see Quavo feeling some type of way. I mean, yeah, Quavo. I mean, that was his girl. But when it comes to Takeoff, why would he care? Like, I mean, it's bogus. I mean, that would be messed up. But it ain't got nothing to do with him. You know, I mean, that's how a lot of those females be in the industry. A lot of men are like that in the industry too. So, I mean, oh well, she ain't the one. Find somebody else. Now, it's not like they were married, you know, or anything like that. So again, why would Takeoff be? I mean, so the people that say that, y'all sound stupid. You know, just to be like, oh well, it's because of Saweetie. What? Like, no, it was not. I'm like, it clearly was not. Like, it was. So here, flip. Now let's keep going. So now none of the members have given a real reason for the split, but Quavo and Takeoff does say that the group will always be family to each other, okay? While addressing the breakup, Quavo says, I just feel like we want to see our career as a duo. Quavo said, because we came from a loyal family, we supposed to stick together. Sometimes it don't work out. It ain't meant to be. I believe this is okay. We don't know all the answers, Takeoff added. God know. We pray a lot. We tell God whatever ain't right. However, you're supposed to see it fit. You put it back together and however you do it. We pray. So only time will tell. We're always family. Ain't nothing gonna change. So now Takeoff said that. Quavo did not say that. Okay, so that's how you know, like I said in videos before, Takeoff was more open to being cool with Offset. Quavo was not. Okay, Quavo don't want nothing to do with Offset. He absolutely does not. And it's not because of no damn Saweetie. It's not. It's gross that people even say that because it's just like, what? Like, she's never been that important. She never. Okay, I'm here, flip. So with that being said, let's keep going. So Quavo says, we stand on loyalty. We stand on real deal loyalty. Quavo continued. This ain't got nothing to do with no label, no paperwork, no QC, no nothing. This something to do with three brothers. It is what it is. Right now, we gonna be a duo till time tell. Offset has yet to speak about the split. So again, if this is about the three brothers, what the does that have to do with Saweetie? It's between them. What happened was between Quavo, Offset, and Takeoff, them as a group, and he stems on loyalty and the group. Put those together. Offset was not loyal to the group. What does sleeping with Saweetie have to do with that? Oh, y'all sound dumb. I'm like, anything for a click and a view? Because it doesn't have anything to do with Saweetie. It doesn't. I have a better idea than you, ho. I can promise you that. I have a better idea than you. You have to realize your subscribers stay that. Okay? I'm on stage. Yeah. You're in the bleachers. Sit still. Okay? It's not a problem for you to move around. I have a better idea than you. And I have things to back it. What do you have? Yeah. So I'm here, Flip. Before I was rudely interrupted by a scavenger. Yeah. So back to the subject at hand. It has nothing to do with Saweetie. It has nothing to do with her. It's between the three brothers and loyalty. And we can let Quavo say that out of his own mouth. You don't know either, Sean. I don't know. I mean, he kind of said it. I don't know. I mean, like literally said it, but I mean, I guess you feel like he said something else. So maybe let's hear it. Instead of me reading it, let's just hear from his mouth.
Speaking of just family, would there be more Migos? Would there be a culture for? Like, what kind of space? Where is that space? Do you think there'll be a culture for, or more music was said, or what kind of like where are y'all at with that space right now?
I just feel like we want to see our career as a duo, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we just came from a loyal family, you know what I'm saying? Shit that's supposed to stick together. And, you know, sometimes when shit don't work out, it ain't meant to be, you know, so
family gonna be family though. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it be.
Yeah,
family gonna be family. That's just how it be. In the beginning, you can't even think clear or speak on shit like that.
Always. You know,
I ain't trying to answer them any questions.
I
family gonna be family. It's just how it be. You be more hurt whenever it is. It could be the simplest shit.
You know, we don't know all answers, you feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? God know. And we ask, you know what I'm saying? We pray a lot, you know. And we tell them, you know what I'm saying, whatever. If it's, you know what I'm saying, post, you know what I'm saying, whatever ain't right, and however you supposed to see it fit. Like you put it back together, or however you do it, like we, you know what I'm saying, we pray, so only time to tell. But you know, we always family now. Ain't nothing gonna change. So
we just stand on loyalty. You know what I mean? We stand on real deal loyalty. And you know, sometimes that shit ain't displayed. And this ain't got nothing to do with no label, no paperwork, no QC, no nothing. This got something to do with the three brothers. And shit, that is what it is. Right now we gonna be the duo till time tell.
That's solid.
Boom. So again, it doesn't have anything to do with business, contracts. If it ain't got nothing to do with none of that, why would it have something to do with a female? Gross. I'm like, that literally makes no sense. All of those things beforehand would have made sense. Business, contracts, all of that. Okay. What people keep leaving out, okay, is that Offset left the Migos. But it's like, don't nobody want to talk about that. No. Offset, along with the rest of the group members, sued Quality Control. Okay? As a group, they were suing Quality Control and the distribution company and also the lawyer, okay, of Quality Control. They were suing him too. All of them. Offset left. He left Quality Control. He left his contract. And he left them over there to swing for themselves in a group that they all started together. So he left them high and dry. Offset, you did do that, and that was dirty. You just leaving them over there. After y'all were all supposed to be loyal to each other and stay in that group. And if y'all were going to leave, Offset, y'all were supposed to leave together. It's no different if you watched the Braxton Family Values. When the sisters went on strike, the Braxton sisters went on strike. They were not coming on camera, none of that. Tracy, God rest her soul, she still did because she feared being sued. So she didn't want to get sued. So since she didn't want to get sued, she came. So the other sisters looked at Tracy as betraying them. Like, you betrayed us because you didn't hold out. And that season, they brought on Natalie Nunn and a few other different women to come fill the slots of the other women. But only Tracy was on the season. And they were all supposed to not show up. And Tracy still did. So they hated her. I mean, I'm not going to say hated. That's a pretty strong word. But she had a lot of bad blood with her sisters. All of them. Tony seemed to be the only one that was forgiving. But Tamar and Trina and all of them, they didn't want nothing to do with Tracy. They were all mad at her. Because we were all supposed to do this together. So it's the same thing. I feel like that was the start of the trouble. Where Cardi comes in is that Cardi wanted Offset to leave the group. Cardi knew that Offset was unhappy, you know, among a lot of other things. When the money wasn't messing, the money wasn't sitting right, and none of that. So it was great that Offset wanted to part ways. That's fine, but we're supposed to be doing this together, okay? But not everybody got the money that Offset and Cardi got. More so of Cardi, but they don't have that money. So it's rumored that Cardi pretty much helped and buy Offset out of his contract with quality control and whatnot. So that's where Cardi comes in, to where they feel like Cardi is the reason he left. Cardi removed Offset from the group, is how I feel the men look at it. Honestly, that's how I feel like they look at it. They look at it because Cardi and Offset both, while while Takeoff was still alive, May 19th, 2022, Cardi B responds to joining Offset in unfollowing Quavo and Takeoff on Instagram. Okay, so while Takeoff was still alive, Cardi wasn't with him, and neither was Offset. Why do y'all think it took so long for Cardi? Hold on. Come to the scene. Hold on, where's that? Cardi B slammed after Migos rapper and estranged family member Takeoff was fatally pow-powed. Okay. People were very upset with Cardi. When PNB passed away, like they said right here, at Cardi B was quick to rip PNB rock, but been silent when it came to Takeoff. One Twitter user wrote regarding Cardi B's social media statement about the selfish rappers rappers devastating passing from pow wounds on Monday. Okay. So Cardi didn't say anything right away because, again, it was, you know, kind of crazy because they all still have bad blood. We're going to come back to this article, but before we do, let's get back into this. So Quavo, because I'm gonna go over all the articles, but I'm just setting up the timeline. Quavo, back 5/19/2022. Quavo feud with Offset, Migos breakup? ? This is on TMZ. I just won't say, Quavo says. So Quavo and Offset are on the outs again, and this time it means Migos is done as a group. At least that's what online buzz, and Quavo isn't doing anything to put out that fire. Honcho was at LAX Thursday when a photog asked him about reports the trio is breaking up. And his response is interesting. All the talk about Migos' demise stems from two things: Quavo's new Offsetless project and a bunch of social media unfollows. He was happy to talk about one of those things, namely his and Takeoff's new track, Hotel Lobby. The new duo's taking the name Unk and Few due to their family ties. But Quavo definitely dodged the topic of Offset. Offset and Cardi B stopped following Quavo and Takeoff on Instagram, and Quavo unfollowed Offset and Cardi. Takeoff's like Switzerland. He's still following everyone. Okay? So is this beef real? Quavo isn't saying, which makes us lean towards this being a skillful marketing scheme for Uncle and Few. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing when it comes to that. Oh, it's Armand's here. Hi, Armand. Oh. Thank you, Armand. Who Armand? Shout out to Armand. Hi, Armand. Hi. So shout out to the Armand Wiggins show. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and check him out. I'm sure you already are. But if you aren't, go check out the Armand Wiggins show. Oh my word. Shout out to Armand. Thank you. Oh my God, I love you. You're so sweet. Thank you. Look at Armand blessing me. Look at Armand. So shout out to Armand. Yes. Oh, I'm blushing, am I? Y'all tried. I love Armand. So yeah, so again, with this whole thing with Quavo and Cardi unfollowing everyone. So with Cardi unfollowing Takeoff and with Cardi unfollowing Quavo, I feel like obviously there's beef. Like that. I mean, it's clear as day. So that's why I feel like Cardi didn't respond right away when Takeoff had passed, because it was kind of weird, you know? It was just like, I really wasn't effing with him, you know, like that. You know, we wasn't chilling like that. That's not what that were. So I feel like it was a little, you know, I don't feel like she didn't want to say anything because she didn't care. I don't feel that way. I just think the energy is weird. It's like, well, we don't deal with each other, you know, like, so, but still at the same time, it's like we're family, you know? So, but we're family that don't deal. We you know, you don't really see many pictures with Quavo and Cardi, or, you know, when Takeoff was alive, that there wasn't a lot of, you know, it wasn't that energy. That's just not what it was giving. And with them unfollowing each other speaks volumes. Now, Offset unfollowed Takeoff and Quavo first, and then Cardi followed suit. And now, okay, so I believe that when Quavo, and let me pull this up, that when Quavo and, you know, unfollowed them after they, you know, did it to him first, and let's pull that up. Let's pull this. So Cardi B responds to joining Offset. I told y'all we was coming back. Joining Offset and unfollowing Quavo and Takeoff on Instagram. Cardi B reacts to fan backlash after she and Offset unfollow Quavo and Takeoff on Instagram, sparking rumors there is a Migos split looming. Now, at this time, no one knew if the Migos was actually broken up until we saw the Uncle and Few project. Then we knew for a fact, you know, that it's just Quavo and Takeoff. Offset is no longer a part of the group, which I don't know why people didn't know that, because Offset literally left Quality Control, all of that. So you don't get to, because Migos, the brand, is underneath Quality Control. So you don't get to leave the label, but still come and do this album with them. No, it doesn't work that way. And if it's going to be a conjoined project, meaning this label and this label come to an agreement and then all three artists work together, you know, that's different, which I just don't see that happening, because it's just with splitting the money and royalties, who owns this, who owns that. It's just too much. So most labels want no parts. That's why features are more popular than people like literally doing albums together. It's more so of like independent artists that, you know, can join and do those type of albums, you know, whatnot. So the thing about that is they, you know, and to do Migos projects, you know, you got to be where the name is owned. Offset don't own the name the Migos, and neither do, you know, Quavo, they don't own a name. Quality Control does. So since they do, then it should have been obvious that with Offset leaving Quality Control and Cardi B assisting Offset and leaving Quality Control, then obviously he's leaving the group like that. Duh. And then it was weird also with Cardi. Now, y'all know I like Cardi. It's my girl. But I find it weird that she unfollowed Takeoff and she unfollowed Quavo but she didn't unfollow Quality Control. She still follows them. After she stated that she's never been signed to them because it's rumored that Cardi B has a deal with Quality Control underneath the management label, and that's not true. That's what Cardi says. Cardi says there is no contract with her and Quality Control. I'm not underneath them, nothing like that. That's not true. But if you look it up, or even in Quality Control, it states that it's one of their accomplishments having a management deal with Cardi B. And again, she states it's not true. So for her to unfollow, you can go pull up Cardi B's. I'll do it right now. I will pull up Cardi B's Instagram. I looked before I came on here. Cardi B is still following. She is still following Quality Control. Hold on, let me pull up Instagram. She is still following. Hold on, y'all. Quality Control, which is weird. I gotta say, that's pretty weird. That is weird. Hold on, let me pull this right on up. I should have just did this earlier, but it's fine. So yeah, let me pull this up so I can show y'all. Cardi B. Let's go to following. How do you search on here? She following my goner, man. She is still following Quality Control. Let me pull it up. Yes, you better follow around and Beyonce Cardi girl. You better. Isn't there a faster way of doing this, y'all? Isn't there a faster way of doing this? But she is following them. I literally typed in it on my phone. It's a lot easier. I'm on the computer right now. But she is following them. She absolutely is. Because I found that weird. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you unfollow Quality Control if you're gonna unfollow everybody else? Like, you unfollow P, you unfollow Quavo and Takeoff. Why would you not unfollow Quality Control? I just find that weird. But on Cardi knows the answer to that. She knows the answer to that. This is annoying because she's following a lot of people. I'm just going to pull this up. Hold on, I'm just going to pull it up because I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Okay, I will pull this up. I absolutely will. But until then, let's get back to the storyline. But she is. If you go over there and you type in Quality Control, and if you hit Cardi's following and type in Quality Control, she is still following them. Quality Control Management, I believe they're called. She is definitely still following them. That is no lie. She absolutely is. And I find that weird. But she unfollowed everybody else. I'm just like, okay, girl. Alrighty, Cardi, girl. It's looking a little shifty. But moving right along. But I will pull that up before we end the line. I want to keep going so we can get into the Saweetie piece. So inside Takeoff, Quavo, and Offset and Cardi B's family woes prior to the late Migos rapper's tragic passing, okay? So we're about to get into this. But before we do, because this is how we tie Saweetie into this. Now hear me out. Hear me out, okay? Before y'all just try to jump down my throat. Okay, girl? Hear me out. Okay. All right. Here we go. So, Cardi, her not getting along with Takeoff, her not getting along with Quavo. We've established that they don't like each other. None of the crew is feeling each other, right? Now, this rumor came out with the song Messy that Quavo and Takeoff did. And we already pulled up the video of them, stating that it was over a girl, blah, blah this, blah, blah that. Whatever. With Offset allegedly sleeping with Saweetie. Cardi B came forward and said that that was not true. Okay. Let's pull it up real quick first, and then we'll get into this. About Cardi B stating that it was not true that she hooked that Quavo ex-girlfriend Saweetie hooked up with Offset. She said that's not true. She said that is not true. Some fans think Quavo's messy lyrics are aimed at Offset and Saweetie. Rumors surrounding Saweetie and Offset have resurfaced again. Takeoff and Quavo dropped their latest album, Only Built for Infinity Links. Fans are specifically discussing lyrics in the track Messy as Quavo raps lines some alleged are directed at the Migos member and his ex-girlfriend. Cardi B also defended her man in August 2022 when some fans alleged there had been an affair between Offset and Saweetie. Okay. Quavo's lyrics to Messy raised eyebrows. Although Quavo doesn't mention Saweetie or Offset in the track Messy, some fans think he's taking a dig at Saweetie by talking about Carisha Please. Those fans claim this could refer to his ex-girlfriend's appearance on Young Miami's podcast, Carisha Please. Okay? Some fans think, oh my fault, Quavo can be heard rapping, I ain't stressing, not at all. You wanted the gang, not my brother, not my cousin, nothing. You should have just said it. We would have blessed it. You should have just said it. Now shit got messy, okay? Is what Quavo said in his lyrics, okay? Some fans think Messy is a dig at Offset and Saweetie. After listening to Messy, some fans are claiming Quavo is talking about Saweetie's alleged relationship with Offset, something that was never confirmed. One fan tweeted, and the tea is probably Offset told Quavo that Saweetie was messing with Baby, and Quavo ain't want to believe him. Cardi B's response to this Quavo and Saweetie entanglement will surely be a takeoff, joked another. Another tweet read, it's not about Carisha, it's about Offset and Saweetie. Mm-hmm. Prior to the album drop, Quavo and Takeoff released 4 singles. Okay, yeah, we know that. Okay, so, but Cardi B, hold on, I'm sure I have her response because she ended up saying something, of course. Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she? Okay, I don't know where it is. Oh, well, I'm not looking for it. So, let's get back into this then. Why not? So, okay, sorry. Inside Takeoff, Quavo, Offset, and Cardi B's family woes prior to the late Migos rapper tragic passing. Okay, now Cardi B came forward and said that it was cap, about people stating that Offset slept with Saweetie. That was not true. And she also stated that he was going to address it on his upcoming album. So if it was true, I really don't feel like Cardi will be promoting it. I really don't feel that way. Takeoff will never have a chance to fix his broken relationship with estranged family members, Offset and Cardi B. The late Migos rapper was fatally pop-out in the head and torso Tuesday morning, November 1st, as Quavo cried for help beside his lifeless body at a horrific scene. Takeoff's tragic death came hours after the 28-year-old dropped a new music video for the hit single Messy alongside his uncle Quavo, which seemingly hinted at the alleged reason why Migos parted ways. The demise of the renowned rap group began in May after Cardi B and Offset unfollowed both Takeoff and Quavo on Instagram. Not long after the public moment of separation, Quavo and Takeoff stemmed into musical duo Unk and Few, while Offset announced the release of a solo project. So you got to think about that. If both men, Quavo and Takeoff, is working on that next Migos album, but go on stage as Unk and Few, and then Offset is announcing his solo project, at the same time, then that means that Offset had already left the group. If you're already doing and working on a solo project, you weren't working with the group. Y'all had no communication. Y'all unfollowed each other, all of that. You left the group. Nobody kicked Offset out of the group. He left. How you making an album during an album being made? That's too much. So you were never going to be a part of said project, the Unk and Few, that you're never going to be a part of it. Okay? The Culture 3 or whatever you want to call it. You were never going to be a part of it. That was never happening because you left. Okay? Duh. So again, this whole, thing about him being kicked out of the group. He was not kicked out. Offset left the group when he left Quality Control. End of story. So while Offset announced the release of his solo project, so in August, rumors that Migos member had reached their breaking point continued to soar after social media users slammed accusations toward Cardi B's husband, Offset, for allegedly sleeping with Quavo's girlfriend at the time, tap-in rapper Saweetie. The WAP vocalist was outraged by the claims of infidelity within, oh, it's right here, within her marriage after a Twitter user wrote at the time, "I'm still gagging at you blatantly lying about Offset effing Saweetie." Cardi B clapped back and denied any possibility of Offset had slept within another woman, stating, "No, baby, you lying. You making crazy lies starting ish and putting female rappers in it with no receipts." So if she didn't like Saweetie, if she felt like something was happening, I just don't feel like nothing happened. I just don't feel that way. Between Offset and Saweetie, I don't feel like anything happened. While the trio never name dropped one another when referencing their broken family, Quavo seemingly shaded the situation when he and Takeoff guest starred on a podcast episode of Big Facts on Thursday, October 6th. We want to see our career as a duo, Quavo explained of he and his nephew's career ventures. "We came from a loyal family that's supposed to work together, and you're supposed to stick together. But sometimes when ish don't work out, it's not meant to be." Again, their real anger with Offset is that he left the group. He left them over there. We literally in a lawsuit with these people. That's why they have to drop the lawsuit. Because we need you. Is what the situation were. Like Offset, we need you. This was your idea, basically, for us to do all of this. And then we start this process and basically because you can't make me think that P does not have a problem with Offset. There's a lot of static between those two men. So why would he not have that same static for Quavo and Takeoff? They're the ops to P. Y'all tried to sue me. Y'all tried to leave us. Y'all tried to do all of those things. Y'all think that just because he said that it was smooth over, that it was smooth over? No. P gonna move like a businessman. It's not a coincidence that he just sold Quality Control for over $300 million after Takeoff died. This ain't been no business deal in the process for years. And those type of business deals take a long time usually. No, they sped that situation up. They put up a for sale sign and sold to the first person that wanted to buy. It sounds like they want to get rid of Quality Control. They want to rid themselves of all of the evidence that could be used against them and what happened to Takeoff. Again, P profited the most off Takeoff's death. No one made more money off of it than him. It was his artist. He wasn't a model or anything like that. So it's not like Abercrombie or Dolce & Gabbana about to profit a lot because Takeoff passed away. No, he was a music artist underneath Quality Control who owns the royalty, everything. Hits him, their name, all of that. No one profits more than him. And anytime somebody's KILLED, they look into who profits the most or the closest to them. So it's usually like husband, wife, something like that. Ex-wife, ex-husband. It's usually something like that. So again, he profited the most with this situation. So he can't convince me he wasn't involved with what happened to Takeoff. He can't convince me. So again, let's keep going. It had nothing to do with a woman. It was, besides if you had Cardi, because I do feel like they feel like Cardi is the main reason Offset left. But sometimes people are like, okay, we stand on loyalty, and sometimes that ish ain't displayed. The award-winning artist continued of Offset's alleged affair. Right now, we gonna be the duo till time tell. Is what that word. The dynamic duo continued to fuel Migos' divide in a recent episode of Drink Champs podcast on Friday, When asked to choose between their cousin-in-law Cardi B and the queen of rap, Nicki Minaj, the unconfused duo unanimously chose the latter. So after they all unfollow each other, do you really think Quavo and Takeoff was about to sit there and say, Cardi? They don't like her. And again, I feel like Takeoff, it was a smaller issue to him. It was way bigger to Quavo. I don't think that it was that Takeoff and Cardi were at an unforgivable place. I think that they could have worked it out. I think that they definitely could have. I think it was more so of ego involved. Cardi feeling like she needs to take her man's side, and more so of, Takeoff feeling like he needed to take Quavo's. Just like something, that I just, the bonds is what it's giving. So let's continue. I'ma say Nicki said Quavo, to which Takeoff quickly agreed, stating, I was going to say the same thing. That's crazy. Quavo has yet to speak publicly on the passing of Takeoff, while Offset changed his Instagram profile picture to a solo shot of the rapper. For her part, Cardi B retweeted a video of the Migos trio speaking from the heart about family prior to parting ways. Okay. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into this. Let's get into Saweetie and why I feel a certain way. And why not? Y'all know I'm messy. This is it. Okay. So this is it. Now we're gonna fuse in Saweetie and why I feel like Takeoff may have slept with Saweetie. Hair flat, but let's get into it. No, I'm messy. So why Migos members Quavo and Takeoff were feuding with Offset before Takeoff's passing. Following the passing of Migos member Takeoff, fans have been left wondering whether the rapper was still on bad terms with fellow group member Offset, and as was previously rumored. Takeoff, whose real name was Kershnick Ball, made up 1/3 of the Grammy-nominated rap group Migos, which is also comprised of Takeoff's uncle Quavo and cousin Offset. The 28-year-old rapper was powed down on November 1st while attending a party at a 10 Billards and bowling in Houston, Texas. Now, before we drift into this, I was saying earlier, if Takeoff allegedly, in my opinion, slept with Saweetie, then why was he so angry with Offset and not Takeoff? Well, Takeoff and Quavo did have beef. They did. They were working together. Okay? So with them working together, a huge deal of respect there for each other. And with me also saying in my show the other day, why I feel like Quavo is very shady, and that when Quavo went and talked to who he spoke to at the bowling alley that night, it's mighty weird that he lived in Takeoff past. I believe whatever, and I'm going to say it again, whatever conversation Quavo went in there and had, it saved his life because he was supposed to go too. I believe Quavo was the intended target. Get both of them, but definitely get him. Definitely. Okay? Quavo was not supposed to live. I know it's like a harsh thing to say, but it's the truth. I think they were both targeted. And what Quavo went in there and did, remove the target from his back, but there was still a target on Takeoff's. Just like there's a target on Offset's back. And you keep hearing people like Jay Prince coming forward, even letting you know that there's a target on Offset's back. Okay? And we've discussed all of that. Okay? So with that being said, with Takeoff and Quavo, there was beef before the passing. So let's get into that. So were Migos feuding? Details of Takeoff and Quavo's beef with Offset, right? Now listen to this. Takeoff and Quavo's relationship was allegedly strained at the time of Takeoff's passing. This does not say Takeoff and Offset. This does not say Quavo and Offset. This says Takeoff and Quavo's relationship was allegedly strained at the time of Takeoff's death. Quavo and Takeoff had alluded to the lack of loyalty of Offset's part and hinted that they were working on repairing their relationship as a trio. Okay? Rumors of a rift between the members started after Offset and his wife, Cardi B, unfollowed Quavo and Takeoff on Instagram in May of 2022 after the duo released their debut single, Hotel Lobby. Now, I think that when Quavo was speaking in the song Messy about sleeping with the gang, I believe Saweetie slept with Takeoff. I don't think he was talking about Offset. I believe he was talking about Takeoff. I don't feel like he was talking about Lil Baby or anything like that. Lil Baby is single. And Lil Baby stated at the time when he did buy Saweetie a Birkin and all that stuff, he wasn't buying her that type of stuff while she was in a relationship with Quavo. That was after. That it wasn't during their relationship. So people just throwing Lil Baby in there saying that no, I don't feel like, because they had been feuding already. Migos and it no different than Offset and Chris Brown. Like they've been beefing. Like they've been not liking each other. Like that's nothing new. Chris Brown tried to holler at Cardi, jumped at her DMs, all of that. Like, so I mean that been what that were. That been what that were. That been what that were. I do believe that when Quavo is stating that Saweetie tried to sleep with somebody in the gang, meaning slept with somebody in the gang, like when somebody he F with, I believe it was Takeoff. I do. I believe she slept with Takeoff, and I believe that Quavo and Takeoff she a female type of situation, just kind of just got over it because they had this album and stuff and whatnot to do. That's just my opinion. And there was smoke between them, and it makes sense into why people are alleging, which I want to do a receipts video on that, alleging that Quavo had something to do with Takeoff's passing. Is it because Takeoff slept with Saweetie? I mean, yeah. So here, Flip. So there was a problem there because there was a rift between all of the men. It wasn't just, because if he can get into it with Offset, I mean, why wouldn't he get into it with Takeoff? I mean, I don't see that. I mean, I really don't. Cardi B and Offset both have denied it, and so has Saweetie. Like, everyone has denied that. Like, why would you even think that, type of situation? I don't believe that Quavo was talking about Offset. I believe he was talking about Takeoff. That's just my opinion. You are all entitled to disagree with it. That is completely fine. If you think that, you ain't got to think what I think. It's my opinion. But if you think that that's far-fetched, hey, that's just fine. It absolutely is. But again, Takeoff is single or was single and whatnot. So again, it's not like he was sleeping with somebody's wife. But if Saweetie bust down with Offset, why wouldn't she bust down with Takeoff? I mean, honestly, I think Takeoff is cuter. God rest his soul. I think he's cuter than Offset. So, I mean, obviously she has no moral code because if she did, why would it even be a possibility of people stating that she may have slept with Offset? If she sleep with Offset, she'll sleep with Takeoff. If she was a bird, she was a bird. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's how I feel. And there was strain there. Okay, well, it doesn't mean that he had to hate him for it. I mean, he could have. They could have fell out and, been cool. I mean, girl, rest in peace to Takeoff. But niggas is niggas. Niggas is niggas. And there's a lot of people that don't seem away until they do what you think they wouldn't. So I mean, he was quiet. It doesn't mean that he didn't like Uchi Coochie. I mean, he does. Sometimes you're around somebody drunk. I mean, just hey, they just happen to be over there looking come over there for somebody else. They ain't there, but you is. You never know. So that's just my opinion. Because what there was definitely strain between the two men. You know, we all have problems with people that we still deal with. All of us. All of us. We all have problems with people that we still deal with. Absolutely. So it doesn't mean that it's, I mean, it's possible. I mean, it definitely is. None of them have stated who it is. None of them. And Takeoff has always been left out of the equation, and I didn't understand why. I'm like, well, why isn't nobody saying Takeoff? Like, I mean, he definitely could have slept with her. Like, just because he was quiet and nice, people make mistakes. People do things that they don't necessarily mean or know that they shouldn't. I'm sure one of y'all doing something right now you know you ain't supposed to be doing, but you're still doing it. So, and there's plenty of people that probably think that you're not that type of person, but you are. So, here, flip. So, yeah. That's just what I think. That's my opinion. Again, it doesn't have to be yours. Don't feel like, you know, Sean is forcing this down our throat. No. And I'm not reaching. It's an opinion. It's not reaching. Reaching is just sitting or talking. I'm bringing receipts. I'm showing there's reports of strain between Takeoff and Quavo, and it completely makes sense that there was strain. Now, it doesn't mean that it was literally over Saweetie. No, it could have been over a bunch of things. It could be all type of stuff. It could have been about, but I feel like it's hard to be mad at somebody that's a bust down, that you know is a bust down. So I think it's hard for Quavo, if Takeoff slept with Saweetie, I think that it would have been hard for Quavo to like hold him to the fire because she had thought. It's not like Lori Harvey or something. I mean, not that Lori Harvey, you know. I mean, she at least is a relationship chick. But it doesn't. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, she for everybody, you know. So it's hard, you know. She been for everybody, you know. He tried to wife her, you know, type of situation. Yeah, and I did hear something about the elevator, too. About something that belonged to Takeoff during the exit of Saweetie trying to keep Quavo at the apartment. I heard some about Takeoff's belongings. And Takeoff and Quavo, which we're going to get into in the next show, they did stop speaking for a while. And when did they stop speaking? Right around the time that Quavo, right after Quavo and Saweetie had broke up. Absolutely. They weren't speaking, like, at all. So that's what I'm saying. There was strain between the men. It wasn't just those two against Offset. It wasn't like that. At one point, it was all of them against each other. Like, it was all of them. So that's why I'm like, if the female equation part, that would be more so if you ask me on like Takeoff. Like, it wouldn't be Offset. No, but they're mad at Offset for different reasons. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with a female. And if so, it would be Cardi. And why it would be Cardi is because they feel like Cardi kind of not bamboozled. I would say more so of came in and did for Offset what they were all trying to do collectively. I don't know why I feel like they blame Cardi. I do. And with the unfollows and all of that stuff, right around the time albums and stuff are dropping, it's giving Cardi. Yeah. Absolutely. That she may be more involved than she's willing to admit with the group breaking up. Absolutely. Because the group wasn't breaking up prior to Cardi, okay, getting involved. At that point in time, to when the group brought up the lawsuit against Quality Control, the attorney, and the distribution company, they were leaving together, all three of them. This was a group decision, and they were doing it as a group. And then all of a sudden, Offset's gone, and we're still over here with the enemies, like with the ops. P from Quality Control is an op to the Migos clan. He's an op. They tried to sue him. They tried to leave him. You think that's just going to be fine? You think that P just going to be like, it's cool? No. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why I believe this is what we got to do a receipts video. Because why y'all think Quavo's so close to Jay Prince? Protection. From who? P. Y'all think because y'all see P around Quavo that no, he don't have a choice. Now he does because P sold the company. But before P sold that company, he didn't have a choice. That's why P made sure he was at that in memoriam of Takeoff at the Grammys, because that was his last hurrah. This company about to belong to somebody else. Now P has no power. Now he has no power. Because what's done is done. He don't need to hurt Quavo now. For what? I don't own Quality Control. If you die, you just die. Don't mean me no good. Don't do nothing for me. Getting that life insurance policy, among other things, on Takeoff. And then on top of that, selling the company for $300 million. And we're not supposed to side eye that at all. We're supposed to just ignore that because P's a great businessman. Although he's lost how many artists have died on his watch? How many artists have sued him? Migos ain't the first one. And they damn sure ain't the last. A lot of artists have sued Quality Control. Lots of them. And we can do a video on that too. I can pull them all up and show you. Many artists. A few different artists passed away with life insurance policies, but no albums. Life insurance policies, but no albums. Okay. So yeah, that's why a lot of the artists don't even know about, because they didn't really even get a chance to excel. They didn't even get a chance to do anything because their life was cut short. So a lot of them you didn't hear about. Like, what? Who is that? Oh, you wouldn't know him. But P got a nice life insurance policy off these people passing away. Ask P how much he did for their families. Nothing. Nothing. The ones with kids, ask him how many college funds he paid for. Nothing. Did none of that. Ask him who mama he went to go see. Okay, nothing. He did none of that. But he got a heart. P's gonna, no, he's not. P is a horrible person. Evil. Absolutely. So it makes complete sense into why he's selling sold Quality Control, because Quavo is no longer a threat. He's not even a threat. He was just more so of a dollar sign. That's all. That's why both of them were supposed to die. It was not supposed to just be Takeoff. It was not. He knew something was up. Quavo knew something was up. That's why he went down there and linked with Jay Prince for protection. And the conversation that he had saved his life. That is why Takeoff still died. Because one of y'all got to go. You got to go. Now, you will keep. Okay. Because you have something to offer. That's why he is indebted to the Prince family. Saved him, but took Takeoff. One of y'all got to go. One of y'all. That's why I said Takeoff had no idea. He never saw it coming. Never saw it coming. That is why Quavo was so hurt when he turned around. Because he knew something was going to happen, but he fought just when you thought you were safe. Just when you thought you were safe. Just when Quavo thought he was safe. He was. But he's not. That's how you know when that deal, whatever deal Takeoff went there to, or Quavo went there to make, it did not include Takeoff. It didn't include it. Because why did he die? And they said it was from a stray bullet. What? That wasn't no stray damn bullet. For where he got hit at, both places, no, that was deliberate. They meant to hit him. That was on purpose. That wasn't no accident. How was two pop in literally 3-4 feet away from each other. 3-4 feet away. Pop at each other and don't hit each other at all. They don't hit each other at all. Why? Cam left walking, and the alleged other shooter left walking out of there. Ran out of there. Neither one of them. They didn't even try to chase each other. Why? Why? If you pop at a person and you miss that person, but you hitting all of these other people, and you see the person that you pop at running, you don't. I thought you wanted to pop him. What? No, it's a setup. And it's also not a coincidence that right as Quavo was, because Quavo was the reason they were there, not Takeoff. When Quavo was ready to leave, right after that happened, Quavo was the intended target. Takeoff, I believe at that point in time, may have lived. But Takeoff was, Quavo was definitely the main target because of P. I don't care what P say. You're involved. You're involved. I don't care what he said. That was deliberate. You knew that they're about to leave, and y'all needed to get them before they got up out of there. Yes. So whatever deal Quavo went in there and struck, it did not include his brother. It didn't include him. It did not. That's how I feel. That's why they made sure they took him out. Because why wouldn't they wait? Why? That's why he went there in the first place, for protection. That's what they call it, check-ins. For protection. So the place that you're supposed to be protected, this happens? That doesn't even make sense. It's a setup. This was deliberate. That's all that were. Think about it. It's pretty simple. P needed them to pass away because they were leaving. That's the only way he's going to profit off of this. And without Offset being on that album, ruining things, with him not being on that album, giving them the original members, he knew that it wasn't going to sell as much as the other albums. It was not going to do nearly as well as the other Migos albums. Now, Offset did not make the group, but he's a part of it. He has a sound, and that sound goes with this group. And with him not being a part of it, it's just these two. Okay, well, this album ain't gonna do well at all. And they trying to leave. They still trying to low-key sue, and stuff like that. Offset done did all this stuff and completely remove himself from us and all of this stuff. Get him. This is how you recoup everything you're losing. Take a lot of money to create an album. Visuals, videos, touring, all that stuff take money. All that stuff take money, and a lot of it. So yeah, they're gonna want their money. They're gonna want it. So in my opinion, I feel like P never let that go of them wanting to sue him. Why would he? It makes complete sense. And then you deal with a bunch of narcissists with massive egos. No, this is going to be a problem. And they already try to look at Jay Prince himself trying to act like he John Gotti and all of that. You don't think P act the same way? This ain't nothing new. This stuff has been going on in the rap game forever. Forever. Pac, Biggie, all of that. Those men didn't die of natural causes. They was all taken out. You don't, just because people trying to become a little bit more creative with ways of ending people's lives, you don't think it's the same thing? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So yeah, he was taken out. That was deliberate. I'll keep saying that because it's true. That was no accident. The only thing that didn't happen that was supposed to happen originally was Quavo was supposed to die. He was not supposed to live. He wasn't. Who wasn't supposed to live? Mm-mm. And I know that because if that happened there, where it happened, Jay Prince's land, and all of that, why? Why would they even allow something like that? They should have been completely safe. Completely. And Takeoff did not deal with the Prince family like that. His affiliation was through Quavo. Quavo had been dealing with that family, not Takeoff. That's why he was basically just like a bystander. He was just kind of just there, just chilling, minding his business. I'll say he never saw it coming. Never saw it coming. And neither did Quavo. Now, did Quavo think something was going to happen there? No. I feel like Quavo thought they were cool. They were safe. Not knowing that everybody works together. Like, it's a group effort. It's not just one person. It's definitely a group effort. So, yeah. But we will do a receipts video on this. I want to show you the strain and the things that have happened. And do a breakdown of each moment to show you, like actual receipts of it and break it down. So I am going to do a surviving on quality control. I want to show you all of the artists that have passed away under a lot of weird circumstances that they just don't add up. It's no different than with Takeoff. It's just like, it still doesn't make sense why he died. Literally. It still doesn't make sense. It doesn't. I feel that Quavo went down there knowing that there were targets on their back. He went there knowing things that Takeoff didn't know. A lot of these business deals that they do, a lot of these rappers dip their hands on a lot of pots. Y'all look at them when they have money and stuff, and y'all think that it's literally because they rap. No. A lot of them deal in a lot of nefarious things, a lot of things that they should not be touching. They are touching and doing. I'm telling you. So it's a lot of people involved with certain things that is not on the surface, but it doesn't mean that they're not doing it. You see celebrities get arrested for dog fights, and stuff like that. Who would have thought that they were over there letting dogs take each other's lives? Like who would have, for money? Who would have thought that? I mean, but they was doing it. I mean, you got all this money. You a football player. What you over here doing dog fights for? Like what? But we see him with all of these cars and his house, so we think it's from football. No. It's because it's people at his house betting $50,000 on which pit bull are going to rip your throat out first. And he get a $10,000 cut out of each bet. So that's how he actually enforced this lifestyle. There's all type of stuff they do. Drugs they sell and distribute, buy, and then they'll never even touch it. They just send people money to do it, but they be a part of it all. Rico, and stuff like that. Look at everything YSL is going through right now. That's not surface. That's what's happening behind the scenes is the reason these charges and stuff are coming up, and whatnot. And I believe that's why P of Quality Control sold the company so that he doesn't get YSL'd because they were coming. They're coming. The feds are coming. They absolutely were. So they're trying to get rid of the paper trail before Takeoff's trial, his killer's trial, which starts in March, I believe. He comes back to court in March because he's out on bail right now. Not Cam, but the other one. He's out on bail right now. So, yeah, why not sell the company before this goes to trial? Yeah. So anything that they're requesting and things that they made because there's connections, we don't own the company anymore. We done burned all the hard drives, all of that stuff. We don't have any of that stuff anymore. There's no purpose for it. We sold the company. And with the new company, they have no affiliational ties with the ties that, P had prior. This is a whole new business now. It's different people that are dealing with this name, from now Hybe, they own it now. So if the feds do come knocking, Hybe don't owe them anything. It would be P of Quality Control. So if the feds don't already have it, tough luck. Because Young Thug could have did the same thing, but he wasn't thinking. Because if he would have sold YSL and got rid of a lot of this stuff, he probably wouldn't even be dealing with. Honestly. he probably wouldn't be dealing with it if he would have sold the brand. But he did not. So I feel like that's what P quality control. I mean, I honestly, he made sure he sold this company before that trial starts with Takeoff. Because he already know his name gonna be all up in the roof. That paperwork. Isn't it true that you got this amount of life insurance policy on this boy? Isn't it true that you sent this person this text message? Like, girl, I'm telling you. Ho. This is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I'm not saying that P&M is stupid. They're not dumb because it's very smart. I mean, if you think about it, to make sure that you don't have to deal with it, that you don't come up, and even if you do, anything that could incriminate you, you've gotten rid of, already. And there's really nothing they can do about it because quality control is not on trial. They're not on trial. So, yeah. That's just how I feel. And I'm willing to show you why, I don't just talk, I'm known for surviving for a reason. I'm known for surviving for a reason. So yeah, I come with the facts. So, and I'll show you the facts. So yeah, this weekend, I'm definitely going to try to put my best foot forward and try to work on those videos and get them out. They will be longer videos. They will be like an hour. Each one will probably be like around 45 minutes to an hour. Because it's a lot of information. So I want to, take my time and break it down so that, and I'm doing basically like a mini surviving live right now. Because normally I would just be putting all this heat together and all the receipts like boom, 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 boom. But I'm definitely going to do that. Surviving quality control. We will be doing that. Shout out to Bring the Mess. TV, thank you so much for the super sticker, sweetie. Just preach. I said the same thing. Yeah, that is not a coincidence. It is not. Quality control meant everything to P. It goes from meaning everything to now all of a sudden you can sell it. Why? I thought this was your everything. I thought you were never letting go. Now all of a sudden this man died. His trial's about to come. You done reaped all of the benefits that you can reap from this. Okay, B. Thank you, Bring the Shout out to the world. Then says, shut your mouth because you're spending too much truth. XOXO. Yes, love you. I love you too. Thank you so much, sweetie, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, yeah, I just want to show y'all because I just feel like P is guilty. I do. I think P is a horrible person. I really do. And I think a lot of people are trying to blame Cardi B for what happened with the Migos. No, this is all P's fault. All he had to do is treat that group right and give them what they deserved. As a black man, knowing what black men have went through in the industry and how they're always robbed, they're never given their just due. You have the opportunity to where you could have done that. You big nose fucker. You have the opportunity to do so, to do right by those boys that turned into men. You could have done right by them. You chose not to. You chose not to. Now, when white people do it, it's a little bit more understandable because, hey, it just is what it is. They've been doing it since the dawn of time. But when our own people starts to adopt those same, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. It's like you have the opportunity to do right by these people, and no different than Diddy. That's why I can't stand him. It's like you have the opportunity to do right by these artists, and you chose not to. It's like, that's just crazy to me. Just suck them dry for as much money as you can get, and then just like, that's crazy. Shout out to Precious Jewel. She says, why wouldn't he tell Offset what was going on? That's shady. I just think that there's just a lot of, they don't trust each other. I think that's what happens when you let the industry take over. And then industries destroy families. They absolutely do. And it's not just the industry, families allow it. But yeah, they absolutely do. Makes sense. Says no, just check them out. Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. They just left New Orleans. Who? I can't. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't stand Pierre. He killed me over nothing. Yeah, pretty much. Shout out to a Precious Jewel. She says, I'm in Takeoff. Okay. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super sticker, sweetie. Riot Lab guys, no honor among thieves. No honor among thieves. None. Yeah, I me neither. I can't stand Diddy. Moderator. Okay, I love y'all. I have to get out of here. My son's back, so I'm gonna go chill with him and check on him and make sure that he's good. Thank you all so much for all of the support. Thank you all for the super stickers and all that good stuff. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it's gonna get pretty spicy. I'm gonna have Barney gang over. There's gonna be so many people over here trying to rip my head off. So if you guys want to come and watch Barney gang rip me apart, and come on over and join the Survivings. They will definitely be dropping this weekend and next coming week. So I got these other 2 videos I'm finishing up, and then we will jump right into Surviving Quality Control. Yeah, we have the part 2 of the Aaliyah's Daughter video that's going to drop, and then I got a Shanquella update video, and then we're going to move right into Surviving Quality Control. So yeah, again, justice for Shanquella. We love you, Shanquella. Again, to that young man's family today. I'm at the school, sending you prayers and positive energy. You poor people, just a horrible thing. Horrible thing. Shout out to Armand Wiggins for coming through again. Thank you for the super chat, Armand, Mr. Wiggins. Thank you, Mr. Wiggins. I love you all. Okay, I have to go. All right. Until the next show. I love y'all. My word. Bye.
Fresh, flex.